mali yung naibigay na mga coordinates? Did you ask? Did you try to ask?
Mr. Chair, I believe they submitted both MYPS and the actual coordinates. Ngayon po, I think doon na po sa central office na po ang nagdesisyon kung ano po yung kanilang ipapasa, Mr. Chair.
All right, thank you. I have one last question, Mr. Chair. Then I will. It's okay. I will just give way to my colleagues. Secretary Bonoan, kayo ba, you believe na yung mga binigay ho ninyo na coordinates or yung na mga tao ninyo, sinadya po ito or talagang tanga lang? Ang posible naman ho, pinag-aralan naman ho natin dyan sa civil engineering course, yung mga coordinates po na yan. May mga barkada po ako na mga civil engineer. Pinag-aaralan po, basic po yan sa civil engineering, mga coordinates na yan. Ano nangyari dito, Yusek?
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, as I mentioned earlier, ang MIPS coordinate is a locational coordinate. Yung coordinates kung nasaan yung ilog, nasaan yung town, nasaan yung province, that is the locational coordinates. Ang difference, Mr. Chair, is actually when the project is going to be contracted out, there is what we call as-stake coordinates, as-stake plans. Depende na po doon sa condition on field condition. Kasi sila na po magdidetermine where the project will be most useful. Doon na po nila ilalagay yung project na yan. So that is actually the as-stake coordinates, which is actually the limits of the contract that will be implemented, Mr. Chair. May I just want one comment lang, Mr. Chair. When I learned about the report that there were actually about 421 potential ghost projects, it's already a mind-boggling information to me. I have never anything about this kind of ghost projects. Kasi if there would be that many ghost projects, I was wondering why would this not been naipaano na ng COA sa departamento? Hindi na ba because yearly, Mr. Chairman, the COA will have to submit to us actually their observation report. And 421 potential ghost projects, as reported, is really a mind-boggling to me. A number of that sort, all over the country.
Hindi ako, Secretary Bonoan, maaring maniniwala ho ako kasi kita naman ho natin may sabwatan ho, ilang mga district engineers po ninyo dati at saka mga regional directors and yung mga COA, yung COA na naka-assign po sa inyong tanggapan, nag-uusap-usap po sila. Pero with what you're saying, 420, medyo malaki nga ho yun. Pero sana nga lang po, with the new administration, magawan ho kaagad ng paraan ho ito. Ano po? Kasi makapag-isip po ang tao na wala ho nangyayari. Kaya yan ho ang nireklamo ng mga kababayan natin. Wala po nahuhuli, wala pa nakukulong. Yung pala, may problema tayo. Kung hindi pa po na-erase ng Mr. Chair natin na ang problema sa mga wrong coordinates, kaya kailangan i-double check ho natin. Yun ang mahirap. Next time po siguro, before we make statements or comments sa media, sa social media, kesyo ganito, kesyo ganon, we have to verify muna po. Ano po? Kasi pinapaasa po natin ng taong bayan, justice this, huhulihin sa ganito, kakasuhan na sa ganon, hindi pa makasukasuhan, iniisip tuloy mga kababayan natin, baka nagkakaaregluhan na po, may inaayos na, may pinaplansya na, yung pala dapat to, sinabi nyo kaagad na may problema po tayo, Diniri-inform ninyo ang DOJ, ito pong may mga problema tayo sa wrong coordinates para na-inform ang taong bayan. Because yung mama ho, ang Pangulo, nagsalita na may mahuhuli si Ombudsman Rimulya, may mahuhuli, may may aarestuhin ng mga opisyal. Alam nangyari. Yung pala, ang tingin ko ho, yung problema natin dyan sa mga coordinates na yan. Anyway, Mr. Chair, I'll just reserve my other questions sa second
Thank
round.
you, Vice Chairman Tulfo. Before I recognize the Senate President, quick intervention, follow-up doon sa kanyang tanong. I remember, noong nagpunta kayo sa Oriental, and this was the first time na narinig ko sa inyo mayroong maling grid coordinates. This was long before before the Sumbong sa Pangulo website was launched. Sinabi nyo kagad sa inyong interview, mali yung grid coordinates namin ng aking team na in-inspection namin, na kinongclude namin ghost project sa Sitio Dique, Oriental Mindoro. And we were very sure na hindi yon na hindi mali. Alam namin talagang ghost project because we never relied or we did not rely on the Sumbong sa Pangulo, which at that time was not yet in existence. Hindi pa ito na-launch. Bakit meron na kagad kayong parang subliminally or consciously, alam niyo nang may mga maling grid coordinates? That was the first time, when I first learned na talagang merong mga nasubmit sa Sumbong sa Pangulo na maling grid coordinates, my investigator's mind, kaya unang naisip ko Secretary, bakit kayo nakapagsalita noon na mali yung grid coordinates namin when in fact we did not rely on the Sumbong sa Pangulo grid coordinates. We relied on the DPWH grid coordinates and people on the ground. Kaya we were 100% sure na yung sinabi ko sa aking privilege speech na ghost project sa Sitio Dique was really a ghost project. Alam nyo, Mr. Secretary, i-disclose ko lang, noon ako unang napikon sa inyo. Because you were undermining the work done by my staff. Go ahead, please. Please explain.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, but there's probably a misunderstanding a little bit on that, Mr. Chair. I only knew about the differences between the yung grid coordinates when we submitted actually the list of projects sa Office of the President. That is, I never knew actually about the coordinates, even at
Maliwanag po yung inyong interview Mali yung grid coordinates ni Senator Lacson. Yun ang narinig ko sa interview nyo. Sabi ko, paano niya sabing mali? Chinek namin sa ground mismo, kausap namin yung mga tao, and we inspected physically. So my other question is, between August 4 last year, when you submitted the list
Yes,
of
Your
the grid coordinates to the Office of the President,
Yes, Your
and now that we're discussing it,
Yes, Your Honor.
kailan nyo unang na-realize na may mga maling grid coordinates?
After August 4, Your Honor.
When? After August 4 could be today.
Well, I think a few weeks after when I already been able to validate actually yung existence of the ghost projects in Bulacan First Engineering.
Who informed you na mayroong mali?
The Regional Office of Region 3, Your Honor.
Hindi kayo nasabihin ni Undersecretary Bernardo na mali po, sir, yung ating nasubmit?
Hindi po for that particular area, Your Honor.
No.
We did not discuss.
All over, no? All over.
We did not discuss actually coordinates at that time, Your Honor.
Undersecretary
But,
Bernardo?
we did not discuss the coordinates actually at that time. It's only the presence of
Yeah,
the
okay.
potential.
I want to hear from Undersecretary Bernardo because in one of our private conversations, na-take up niya yan Nasabi na sa inyo na mali po, sir, yung ating na-submit. When was that?
Mr. Chair, basta ang naalala ko lang po noon is that when I talked to one of my, especially Region 4B, during that time, because there were issues in Region 4B that I think hindi naman po ghost talaga. So, ang ginawa ko po doon, with the Director, Gerald Pacana, na hindi ko po makausap noon, ay naalala ko po noon, kinausap ko si Engineer Altea at saka si Ruben Santos na sabi ko, paliwanag nyo na kay Secretary yan dun sa yung sitwasyon natin na baka mali yung mga coordinates. Kasi ang pinag-iisipan po namin is that, although alam po naman ng taga-DPWH ito, the late Undersecretary Cabral made the submission to the PMS. I think she directly submitted that to the PMS. Meron po siyang kausap doon. And of course, I think the Secretary, during that time, cannot read all these documents. Hindi naman po niya ano yun eh. Ang alam ko po noon, nagpapalitan lamang ng nagsasabit si Jose Cabral sa PMS. So yun po yung alam ko. So that is why, ang sinabi ko po, paliwanag ninyo kay Secretary Bonoan na mali ang coordinates. Baka kailangan maano niya. And I think between those period, may napaliwanag po ni Ruben Santos kay Secretary, nabanggit po sa kanya.
Kailan po ito?
I think after the submission na po nung sambong sa Pangulo, Mr. Chair.
After August 4.
After August 4 po.
So, how many days after August 4 yan?
Siguro po ilang araw lang kasi parang
Ilang
hindi pa
araw?
po ako retired nun eh.
So, were there efforts to inform the President to correct, or were there efforts within the department to correct, to rectify? Kasi ang tagal ginagamit ng sumbong sa Pangulo yung mga grid coordinates eh. And kami mismo, I kept praising the sumbong sa Pangulo as very helpful to us. Kailan nyo kinol yung attention na Malacanang, Ops, i-recall muna namin kasi mali yung aming nasubmit. Were there efforts in that regard?
Yes, as I recall, Mr. Chair, Your Honor, I think when I reported to the President the presence of the ghost projects in Bulacan First Engineering District, after I have validated it personally, 2 weeks after siguro po yun, 2 weeks after August 4, 2 weeks after August 4 po
Yeah.
nung kwan dito, and I told the President that as I learned from our staff noon na po, nung pinag-uusapan na natin yan, that they were telling me that there seems to be some differences between the MIPS coordinates and the ASISTEC coordinates. So I told the President that there are certain differences between the coordinates submitted in this sumbong to Pangulo.
Thank you. The Senate President is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Well, I was really going to ask the Department of Justice 1 or 2 questions, but before that, a concern was brought to my attention. You mentioned August 4, but August 3, former Secretary Bonoan, Engineer Bonoan, Yusek Alcantara reported to you the existence of ghost projects, which was admitted to him by Bryce Hernandez. You reported this to the President, who eventually, I understand, went to the site. So, did you validate this? How did you validate the report of Yusek Alcantara?
I went to the site.
DE? I'm sorry. District Engineer Alcantara.
Your Honor, I went to the site myself, together with people from the regional office, and they pointed it out to me, the location where they claim it's already a project that was completed. And I took some time actually to validate it, asking people around, the people in that area, if they indeed this project were actually new projects, and they confirmed to me that these were old structures already, Mr. Chair.
So that was when you reported it to the President?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And he went to the site?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Have cases been filed for these three ghost projects?
Well, Your Honor, after I resigned from the office in September 1, I would not put the
So you're not
status.
aware? You're not aware. Where is this project, Engineer?
In Bulacan First Engineering District, Your Honor, I think one in Malolos and one in Pandi or something.
There was and also, I don't know if you're aware, but there was a case filed over the Nauhan Mindoro Ghost Project. You're aware of this?
Yes, this is
Yes.
Oriental Mindoro, Your Honor.
Yes, yes, I think so. And according to the report, the list of the accused is not complete. Are you aware of that, or is the DOJ aware of that? There are certain members of the DBM that should have been included, but they are not included in these cases filed. Can you enlighten us, Secretary Bida?
Okay. In the case of the Nauhan project, Your Honors, this matter was investigated by the Office of the Ombudsman, and similarly, the preliminary investigation was also conducted. The same is not visible to the Department of Justice, Your Honor.
So it should be the Ombudsman that we should pose this question. Is that what you're saying?
The information may be available to the Office of the Ombudsman, Your Honor.
All right. Now for the DOJ, I'm not going to take much of the time, Mr. Chairman. What do we do with the with the personalities that are under our custody? When I've heard that you now have under your witness protection program, or accepting pala, Roberto Bernardo, Henry Alcantara, Gerald Opalencia, and Sally Santos. What do we do now, Mr. Secretary?
With your permission, PG Dong Padulyon would.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Insofar as the witnesses admitted already into the program, Mr. Chair, the department will probably be asking for, especially for those who are under the custody of the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, that we take custody of them so that they can be placed under the protective custody of the witness protection program.
You are contemplating on sending a request to the Senate, is that it?
Yes, we are contemplating on doing that, Mr. Senate President, sir.
But not at the very moment, no?
You may only be referring to Henry Alcantara, right?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
He's the only one under the custody of the Senate that was
Ah,
submitted.
yeah. So,
Yes, sir. Only Engineer Henry Alcantara, sir.
Bernardo, Valencia, and Santos are not, no?
Opulencia, Engineer Opulencia, and Sally Santos are not under the custody of the Senate, Your Honor.
All right.
Sama nyo na pag alis nyo, kung gusto nyo.
See,
If we will be granted by
the
the...
chairman is already agreeing, you know. I don't think anyone else would.
Yeah, if
would
the chair of the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee so desires, sir, then we will take the necessary or appropriate action to take him into our custody.
Sige, baka mabawasan na namin yung laman doon sa baba dahil
Pakain.
baka may mga ipapasok kami bago eh.
Meron nga,
Yung,
Mr. President.
especially those who do not respond to the subpoena that the Senate has brought out. So, all right.
Your Honor, if we just thresh out the operational matters with the office of the committee of the Senate, Your Honors. Yes,
Alright,
we will gladly take the protective custody of the
I know
state
for a fact that
witnesses.
the Committee on Agriculture under Senator Pangilinan wants to confine some people.
A few more after, currently, Mr. President, and I
Sige.
think in the next hearing, meron pa ho. Kaya mas
So,
maganda talagang mailipat na yung iba.
So, Mr. Chairman, are we agreeing to the request?
Admit nyo na rin sa program yung iba kung magko-cooperate para mabuwasan pa rin kami rito. Assuming that they fully cooperate, kasi I've been telling them, informing them na hindi pa naman huli yung lahat, and the committee may even recommend through the Senate President, once they fully cooperate and help in the investigation and eventual conviction of those being implicated, then, and I hope you will agree if the committee will recommend to the WPP, to the DOJ actually.
Mr. Chair, we will seriously consider the recommendation coming from the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee and the Senate President. As we have made official in the statements of the department, we are not totally disclosing the possibility of these witnesses who applied that they will no longer be considered in future cases. Pwede pa naman po, ang sinasabi lang po ng departamento, base doon sa kanilang application sa ngayon, at base dun sa mga kasong gusto nilang makover, hindi po papasok. Pero we're not saying that in the future, if there are cases or there are other statements that may come out where it will turn out that they will be or they can be utilized in the prosecution of these cases, the department will certainly consider it, sir.
So, loud and clear, ha? Bryce, JP, Curly, you heard it from the horse's mouth. May pag-asa pa kayo. So, pagtulog nyo mamaya, isipin nyo mabuti yung gusto nyo i-testify. Hindi po pwedeng half-hearted and half-truth. Kailangan talaga, when you decide to fully cooperate, fully cooperate.
All right. So thank you, Mr. Chairman. I will not use the rest of my time. I will just use it for interjection later on. Sige. Thank you.
Isa pa, before I recognize Senator Risa Ontiveros, hindi to cast in stone, di ba? Kasi pag nag-violate along the way, pwedeng mawala sila sa program.
Totoo po yun. May mga kondisyon na kailangan nilang Ang pinaka-basic na kondisyon, patuloy na makipagtulungan
Correct.
sa Estado para mapatibay natin ang kaso at successful tayong manalo sa mga kasong atin.
And ang covered lang, yung kasong tinetestify nila. Pag may sumulpot na ibang kaso na hindi nila binanggit, na hindi sila kasama, makakasuhan pa rin sila doon sa ibang kaso.
Opo. Yan po ang ating Witness Protection Program, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you, Secretary
Mr.
Vida.
Mr. Chair, before we move
Yes,
on with your
Senator,
indulgence
JB
of
is recognized.
Senator Ontiveros, tungkol lang dito sa pag-admit sa state witness state witness protection program, no? How do you determine yung gravity ng participation of those who were admitted as state witnesses? Kasi baka mamaya yung mga na-admit dito most guilty. Di ba, I think, not a lawyer, pero sa batas, na yung mga most guilty, hindi ho pwedeng maging state witness.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Tama po kayo doon, sir, na sa pag-i-evaluate po na kung sino yung tatanggapin bilang state witness, hindi naman po kasi question niya na unahan. Ang pinag-uusapan ho dito, meron po mga pamantayan na sinusundan tayo. First, that what they have to say is material, it can be corroborated, and that they're not the most guilty. So, kung meron po tayong makikita, no, hindi naman po rin kasi kailangan sa lahat ng kaso na kumuha ng state witness ang Estado. Only in those cases or instances na sa tingin natin kulang o may kakulangan doon sa ebidensya na kailangang mapunuan, diyan po natin tinitingnan kung sino ang pwede nating ikonsidera bilang state witness.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Also, yung I think you have to be meticulous on who should be admitted as state witness kasi baka mamaya maubos na. Kung matanggap pa as state witness yung talagang main participants, sino na lang may iwan dito? You have to be meticulous on who to admit as state witnesses.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, thank
yes,
you.
Mr. Chair. We are very careful and we are conscious of the need to scrutinize and carefully examine who the applicants are. We cannot consider everybody who applies because otherwise wala na po tayong ipoprosecute dyan. Pero ang titiyakin po namin is that bago po kami kumuha ng state witness under the Witness Protection Program, ito po ay makakatulong po doon sa kasong isasampa natin. At bilang parang safety net, dito po sa mga natanggap, binanggit na nga po kanina ni Secretary Vida na hindi naman po sa lahat ng pagkakataon covered nito lahat ng kaso. It only refers to the cases which are covered and mentioned in the Memorandum of Agreement.
Thank you. Before I recognize Senator Risa Ontiveros, segue lang tayo ng konti. Anyway, pwede naman balikan tong issue, including the Cabral files later. But para lang ma-dispose na natin yung dalawang bagong witnesses. Nakapag-administer na ba ito? Hindi pa. Kindly administer the oath to Maria and Joy. Hindi ito yung mga real names nila, pero kindly administer the oath to the two new witnesses. Kindly stand up.
Kindly raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this proceeding?
Thank you. Please sit down. And ipaliwanag nyo lang bakit kayo naanditong dalawa. Kayo na yung magkwento. Sige.
Good afternoon po.
We have their real names. Nandiyan naman sa invitation. Thank you.
Okay, so we are working for our boss, Rico Ocampo, who was the previous tenant of 30 Tamarind at Forbes Park.
30 Tamarind South Forbes.
South Forbes,
Yeah.
sir.
Kayo yung mga staff ni Mr. Rico Ocampo.
Kami po, yes po, office staff po ni
Yeah.
Sir.
Na siya yung tenant doon sa bahay na naibenta noong April 2023. Go ahead.
That is
Continue.
correct, Your Honor. And then, during that time, January 29, we were CC'd sa email sa boss namin that we are being evicted January 31 at 3 p.m. Dapat nakalabas na kami ng place. Unfortunately, sa sobrang dami po ng gamit, we weren't able to comply with their deadline. So we have asked TJ Conti, who is the broker from Turnkey Properties. Nakipag-coordinate po kami to have an extension. And we were given until February 3, I think, to that was already 2024 po.
And eventually you were evicted. And who informed you that you were being evicted?
We were informed by our boss po. It was parang email po ng law firm. And then sinisi po kami ng boss namin for us to be aware that we have to leave the place by January 31, 2024 at 3 p.m.
Yeah, I was able to talk to your boss, si Mr. Rico Ocampo. And he made mention na meron kayong nakaharap nung you were forcibly being pushed out of the residence. Nabanggit niya si Carla Discaya. Would you confirm that?
That was February 1 po.
Yeah.
TJ Conti, he introduced us to the contractor, but he didn't mention the name.
Yeah. But how did you know that that contractor being referred to by TJ Conti is actually Mr. Discaya?
Well, actually, sir, we already mentioned to our boss nung lumabas yung mukha po ni Mr. Discaya. Nasabi ko, kamukha
Saan lumabas ang
sa
mukha?
TV po, when the flood control project is being brought up. Na.
During the hearings.
Yes, during the hearings.
Okay,
so sabi
so-
ko sa boss ko, sorry about that. Sabi ko po sa boss ko, tsaka sa colleague ko, tingnan nyo nga, ma'am, tingnan mo pong maigi itong mukha na to. Hindi ba ito yung contractor na pinakilala sa atin ni TJ Conti? And then we both agreed na siya nga.
And he was physically there.
He was physically there.
How long did you talk to Mr. Discaya?
It's less than 5 minutes po, pero kasi natandaan namin siya because he was the one manning the people na sinabihan pa na tulungan kami para mapabilis yung pag-move out namin.
Kindly narrate the conversation that took place between you and Mr. Discaya at that point in time.
Okay. During February 1 po, it was just a short introduction by TJ Conti. He mentioned that he is the contractor. And then February 2, medyo nagtagal po kasi nakiusap na nga kami na we really cannot matanggal lahat ng mga gamit dahil sa sobrang dami. And he also mentioned to us na contractor ako dito eh. Meron din kaming deadline. And then we both asked, baka pwede po namin pakiusapan yung may-ari, yung bagong nakabili ng bahay. And then he also mentioned that si Romualdez ang nakabili. And then after po nun,
That's according to Mr. Discaya.
that is according
Okay.
to the contractors.
Now, nandito tayo ngayon sa pagdinig, kung makikita niyong personal, si Carla Discaya, makikilala niyo?
Yes, Your Honor.
Pakituro niyo nga kung nandito siya sa loob ng session hall. Lapitan niyo na lang kung sino dyan sa among the resource persons. Hindi, lapitan mo na lang at Hawakan mo lang sa balikat, hindi magagalit yan.
Your Honor,
Excuse
pwede
me,
po bang...
you'll be recognized later.
Okay.
No? Tuloy lang natin itong proceeding muna. Sige, Miss. Pareho kayo na ina-identify nyo na siya mismo yung kaharap ninyo na sinasabing ang may-ari ng bahay, si Speaker Romualdez, at kailangang umalis na kayo? Kindly answer, use the microphone.
Tama po, Your
Tama po, sir.
So maski ngayon, sa susunod na panahon, sa ibang pagkakataon, ganyan pa rin ang inyong magiging statement.
Correct, Your Honor.
O ngayon, Curly, it's your turn.
Your Honor, okay lang po ba tanggalin nila yung face mask nila? Kasi sa totoo lang po, talagang hindi ko sila naaalala kahit sa panaginip ko na, naginip
it's not
ako ng
for you to
bangungot.
identify them, it's for them to identify you. No?
Your Honor, wala po kasi ang maalalang transaction at saka
that's your
nakapas.
option to deny. What we are establishing here is the fact that there are two witnesses present here under oath na sinasabing nagpunta ka doon at nine-name drop mo, totoo man o hindi, si Speaker Romualdez na siyang nagmamay-ari, bagong may-ari